Hey guys, it's your pal Ben here. Today we're going to be checking out a 2022 Indian Super Chief. So this will be a little bit different bike. I currently have personally the 2022 Indian Chief Bobber. I absolutely love it. The Super Chief and the Super Chief Limited come with a couple different features, which I'm going to highlight here in this video. So let's jump into it. Did a video about a month ago on my 2022 Indian Chief Bobber. And this actually shares a lot of the features that my bobber does. So I got the 111 cubic inch, just as what is in this Super Chief here. So this has the 6-speed 111 Thunderstroke in it. And then of course the analog display, which still has your different power modes and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. So what sets the Super Chief apart from the rest of the Chief lineup are the quick release windshield, the wide angle beach style bars, nice wide bars on this thing, rider floorboards. We get a little bit different style seat than what normally comes on some of the other Chief, which I'll get into detail, a little bit better detail here in a minute. And then of course we have the quick release saddlebags. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna highlight the seats here a little bit. These are different style, different stitch seat than what you would normally get on the regular Chief. Plus the other thing too is this passenger seat is much wider than some of the accessory Indian passenger seats that you buy. Or you can get from Indian. This is actually a little bit wider, a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more cushion behind it there. And of course, with these already have the saddlebag spools there. You can also throw on the backrest of this thing if you want to. So if you want to get the matching backrest and backrest pad, you can do that. The other thing too, this rider seat has the little Indian flares down here, which is pretty cool. It's got the Indian motorcycle logo with the headdress and everything. And it's got this really cool kind of little flap coming down here. That's just to help kind of protect the bags, protect the seat, and protect the shock from anything kind of rubbing up against one another there. This is kind of like felt underneath there basically. So it's just enough to kind of protect the paint and so on, stuff like that. But really cool style seat, nice stitching, quality seat. I actually like this seat better on the Super Chief. It just seems to ride a little bit better, a little bit more comfortable, especially with when you pair it up with these wide angle bars. On my bike at home, I have the Chief Bobber. The Chief Bobbers come with a bar that's kind of like put your hands right up here roughly. And then you have the regular Chief, which is more of a almost, shall we say, kind of like a sporty, more aggressive riding style. Your bars put your hands basically up here. On the Super Chief, this is meant to kind of be like that traditional American V-twin cruiser, like the traditional cruiser, meant to be comfortable, meant to be kind of that weekend warrior type thing. So that's why they put these really nice wide angle beach bars on this thing. Now on my bike, I had to change the bars up, change the seat up a little bit. Personally, if I was riding this bike, I truly think I did a 2-hour ride the other day with my stock bars and definitely had to switch them out. But with these bars and this seat, this is definitely a more much more comfortable riding position. You could definitely do a couple hours on this bike if you really wanted to. Obviously those of you that already own these bikes can probably, you know, throw your opinions out there in the comments below if you really want to. But anyway, yeah, super comfortable set of bars on these. Very comfortable seating position. I also am really jealous of these floorboards. I wish my Chief Bobber came with the floorboards. The floorboards, these are kind of what I call floating floorboards. So don't be alarmed if you buy one of these and you see the floorboards kind of moving a little bit. The bottom mount is what's actually mounted to the frame part, of course. So it's fixed, it's there to stay. But these actually have little cushions underneath to kind of help with kind of like anti-vibration cushions underneath there. So it's very comfortable. A lot of space here. I got about a size 13. You can kind of see my foot almost covers the entire floorboard. You got to have some pretty big feet to cover that thing, but yeah, super comfortable. I'm really jealous of the floorboards. I think I might actually get a set of these for my Chief Bobber. The other advantage to having floorboards on the Chief, or any bike for that matter, obviously you have all this room that you can move your foot to, you know, forward or backward. So you have all that space. You can adjust your, you know, if you want your feet forward, you can do that. If you want them back, you can kind of slide them back there a little bit. little bit more. So just a little bit more space there. You kind of, you know, stretch your legs. Of course, this windshield is also quick release. So if you're just kind of bopping, you know, maybe point A to point B downtown real quick and you want a little bit more airflow, you can actually take this windshield off. I'm not going to do it right now, but essentially what you would do is you would flip this back this way. They got the little security screw in there right now. That's just so no one can walk up and steal your windshield. But otherwise, if you didn't have this little pin in here, you can basically latch that forward, pull the windshield forward and up, and it takes the whole windshield off. It's pretty quick and easy. All the Super Chief models come with the laced wheels. So very similar to that Chief Bobber look. The beautiful laced wheels up there, nice custom old school look, which I think really ties into the rest of the style of the bike. I really am a big fan of the Super Chief. Before I bought my Chief Bobber, I was really deciding between the Bobber and this bike because of a lot of the amenities. I have saddlebags on my bike. I got a windshield on my bike. I don't have these bars. I have the tall bars and I don't have the floorboards. And I was really thinking about getting this bike because of the floorboards and just everything that it comes with from the factory. But like I was saying, with the style, everything just kind of ties in. Everything looks good. Everything flows. Nice, beautiful 111 Thunderstroke, 119 foot-pounds of torque engine there. It is air-cooled. And then, of course, with this beautiful tank emblem there, the Indian logo on the tank, I think just ties in. Like I say, the style and the flow, everything matches. Everything looks good. It's a solid piece. Something else that not everybody knows. Everybody's picking between this and all the Dark Horse models because of the modes. When you turn the bike on, you can actually see it asks you what mode you want to be in. So if you look, you actually have this little trigger button up here. You can cycle through and you got to press and hold. You can cycle through and pick what mode you want. So these, even though they don't have the ride command display, you still have the power modes, which is pretty cool. Sport, Standard, and Tour. I ride around a lot in Sport and Standard quite a bit. So, but that's pretty cool. Couple other things here. So you can obviously, if you really want to, you can get different bars for these. You can get the mid-rise bars, you can get the mini ape hangers, which is what I have on my Chief Bobber. I haven't done a video on that yet, but I will here in probably a day or two. But you can, as far as accessories, if you want to get different pipes on these, you can do that. You can get different bars, different height windshields. You can get the smoked out windshield. This is just the clear basic windshield that they come with from the factory. So if you want to get the completely smoked out dark windshield, you can do that. Like I say, these things are quick release. You can get the heel toe shifter. If you're used to a heel toe shifter, you can do that. That actually adds really nicely to the floorboards. Everything ties in really nicely there. You can get the passenger backrest with the matching backrest pad and everything. It is a quick release backrest as well. I recommend getting the quick release. You don't have to get the quick release. They have some other options there, but I would probably just end up getting the quick release. Last but not least, I did not show you inside the bags here, which I'll go ahead and do. Even though you have the really cool stylish buckles on here, underneath they still have just the basic kind of plastic buckles there. It just makes everything easier to open, and you have all this space inside there. So these are a molded bag, so they're leather on the outside, but they are a hard case leather on the, or not leather, but a hard case, kind of like a poly, like a plastic on the inside. And then if you ever want to remove them, these are kind of quote unquote quick release, what I would say. There's not a whole lot of tools really involved. It's pretty much an Allen key. So there's one and there's two. Pop those Allen bolts off and you can pop the side bag off. It's that quick and easy. There's a couple variations of all the Chief models that you can get, which is why I wanted to do this video. I'll tie in the rest of the Chief models whenever I get the chance to. I already did a video a couple weeks ago on my Chief Bobber. But basically you have your pick of the litter. You got Chief Dark Horse, you have Chief Bobber Dark Horse, you have Super Chief, and then you have Super Chief Limited. Basically your pick between them all. They're all the Thunderstroke motors. All the Dark Horse and the Limited Super Chief, all the Dark Horse and Limited Super Chiefs all have the 116 Thunderstroke. All the rest of them have the 111 cubic inch. So that's just kind of your, preference. The other thing too is the Super Chief Limited, as well as the rest of the Dark Horse models, all come with the really cool ride command display. So that's pretty impressive. As far as who I think this bike is really who's really going to desire this bike and who this is going to fit. If you really see yourself doing a lot of weekend riding, a lot of maybe, I won't say, when I say longer distance, I'm talking maybe, you know, a couple hours on the weekend. I'm not talking from coast to coast. I don't mean that. But if you're doing maybe a couple hour rides, this is definitely going to be more suitable for those longer rides on the weekends. Maybe a great commuter bike to and from, because obviously you get the bags, you get the windshield, so you have nice coverage in the wintertime if you're riding to and from work. And then of course you have the storage in the saddlebags to put your lunchbox and your tools and whatever else you need. So the Chief models, the bare bone Chief models are going to be more your sport oriented type, more aggressive riding cruisers. They don't really come with a whole lot as far as like windshields and floorboards and bags. It's pretty much the bare bones bike. So if you like that just kind of raw aggressive look, you can go with the basic Super Chief. I'm sorry, not the Super Chief, but the base Chief model. Or if you really want to sport it up a little bit, go with the Ride Command and the 116, you can get the Chief Dark Horse. So that just pretty much brushes up a couple minutes here on the Super Chief. Again, these all are 6-speed transmission motorcycles. They're air-cooled Thunderstroke. Whether you get the 111 or you get the 116 with the Ride Command, stuff like that. My all-around thoughts on the Super Chief, again, if you're thinking about doing those couple hour rides or maybe doing some commuting to and from work, that kind of thing, the Super Chief is definitely the bike to think about. Again, I really like the bars. I like the handlebar setup on this bike. I really like the seating position and everything. Nice, comfortable seats. The bags, of course, are a great amenity to have. And of course, that windshield. We're heading into fall, so it's starting to we're getting some cooler temperatures here in the morning. So that windshield is definitely going to help, you know, if you get into some colder temps. Just really, you'd be surprised how much it really helps guard a lot of that wind off of you. So just kind of food for thought. But I'm really a big fan of the Super Chief. And if you're lucky to grab one of these, I'm happy for you. And I can't wait to hear what your thoughts are on the bike as well. So hopefully you guys thought this was informative. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Of course, you can always call the store number here in Hagerstown, 301-739-2773. And your boy Ben is out of here. I'm going to go for a ride.